Well, because it could go anywhere, and the format was wonderful. It could be a cowboy. It could be go forward in time, back in history. It could be comedy. It could be tragic, tragic comic. It could be all sorts of things.
In other words.
And Deborah, you were a very young chick when you were in that, weren't you?
I was. I just saw the
experience.
clip.
Yeah.
I don't recognise that little girl, you know. That was many years ago. And
you were one of the longest-serving helpers, weren't you?
Well, I was only in it for a year.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
You seem to have been there for ages. You've got one of those...
You remember it?
Yeah, well, I do. Yes, it must have been in my era, that then.
Yes, I suppose it was.
Yeah, because you can age how old people are by which Doctor Who they know. I know. Can't you?
I was with Pat Troughton.
Lovely man.
And was Frasier with you in that as well?
Frasier was, yes. As I said, I did a year. But we became like a sort of family. They were really good to work with.
Jeremy,
we still are, really, aren't we? Because we all
are, yes.
They have a club to be a member of, the Doctor Who.
The conventions probably keep you quite busy, don't they?
They do.
Oh, yes.
Because people are fanatical about Doctor Who.
They are.
Why?
Well, I mean, why not? Why? Well, the science fiction has always had a very strong following from, a group of people. I think it kind of takes the place, in many ways, of a kind of a semi-religious thing. Sometimes feel like you're a high priest in some sort of bizarre religion.
You were training to be a priest once.
I was, yes, and Tom Baker was a monk. So that just goes to show.
Well, it says something, doesn't it? I don't know.
It's not what it says, but it does say it.
Were you a fan, Jeremy?
Well, of course, I only remember them from the reruns. But the extraordinary thing is that when you go to America and you're in the business, they always ask you 3 questions. Have you met and do you know Benny Hill? Have you met or do you know any of Monty Python? And have you met or do you know any Doctor Who? Ah. I mean, in America, Doctor Who is huge. Absolutely huge. And they love it. When you think about all the multi-million-dollar special effects that all the Star Trek and those sort of series have, and you look at what is in, to be really honest, some of the really pretty poor effects that the BBC put on.
Well, the bits of planets were always falling off, weren't
they?
The
truth is that the characterisations of Doctor Who were so strong, and the Doctor, whoever he was always bigger than the enemy. He's ridden above them all. We talk about the Daleks, but really and truly, it's always been the Doctor's show.
But I mean, especially you say about the. My impression was that after Blue Peter had finished with its squeegee bottle, he used to pass it on to the Doctor Who department. Those little rockets.
And of course, the TARDIS was the underlying theme throughout the whole thing.
Box.
I mean, yes, well, we've got one here, haven't we?
Ah, so we have.
It is in fact a biscuit tin, this one. But I mean, it was the whole idea of it being bigger inside than outside that was just captivating, wasn't it?
But you see, nowadays, they used to be very common. Police boxes all over the place. People used to arrest people and stick them in it and phone up the Black Mariah, and they'd come along and pick them up and take them home. Yeah. So it was a regular thing. Everyone knew at the beginning of Doctor Who what a police box was, but nowadays children don't.
Didn't know at all.
And there are 1 or 2 left in Britain. And whenever a child sees one, he points at it and says, "Look, a spaceship."
And Dalek, the name Dalek, didn't it come from the letters on the back of the spine of encyclopedias, whoever invented them?
No idea.
In the first place.
D-A-L.
Yeah, it's D-A, and then after...
Oh, it's...
This is your field, isn't it?
Well, it would be D-A reversed, A to D, and then L to K.
It could well be. That sort of thing.
Oh!
What
it is, to have a font of knowledge here. See, Fraser Hines wouldn't have known that.
No, and
Fraser would.
Deborah, have you been involved in the documentary?
Yes, I have, yes.
So did you see the old sets or
I
anything
did,
like that?
no.
Meet a few Daleks again?
Well, I did, yes. Yes, I certainly did. It all came flooding back to me. But I filmed on the deck of the Cutty Sark with John Pertwee.
Oh.
That was an experience.
I think it was
Yes, it sounds like one.
Yes, it was.
Surreal.
3D. So you'll be able to see how big
3D.
John's nose really is. Over the glasses.
We're going to reunite you again a bit later on in the programme, if you don't mind.
Fine.
Okay, because when Fraser arrives in his kilt,
Yeah.
I hope he is
For the
wearing
time being,
still.
thanks very much indeed. Let's talk.
Somebody.
Yes, there he is. Oh no, there he isn't. That is Jeremy Beadle. I promise you, that isn't Jeremy. This is Jeremy Beadle. Now, Jeremy's wearing a single-breasted, very classic navy. It's a wool and cashmere mix. He looks quite cold.
Are you cold, Jeremy?
No, I'm very warm, thanks, Anne. It's a very nice coat. Marks and Spencer's for beginners, and I love it.
But it's £150. That is quite expensive.
Yes, it is wool and cashmere.
Exactly. I mean, it's kind of ideal if you've got to loiter around in bushes, waiting to pounce on people whose panda cards have been crushed, don't you think?
Thank you.
And now we have another second model. Is Miss Julie Peascott, I think. Yes, here she is. And she's wearing a very high fashion look.
Oh, I like that one, Larry. Where did you get that one from?
That's Miss Selfridge, and that's actually £85. That's a really good price.
She's building up her part a bit, isn't she?
I think she is, yes.
It's lovely. It's very warm, actually. It really is.
Now, you know how people always used to go to Moscow and take, like, suitcases full of Levi's and to make some money? Now I think you should, like, go to Russia and bring back military uniforms because you could make a bomb here.
Really is.
I love
mad
that
on
coat. That's a
look.
belt, isn't it? That
Yeah,
coat?
thank you very much, Julie. Now, who's our next model?
Our next model is Mr. Sylvester McCoy.
Oh, Doctor Who himself.
Yes. No, it's not.
no,
I
it's
keep
not.
doing
Oh,
this.
appreciate going on here.
I do apologise for insulting you.
It's just the string
Like your
vest on
string
the...
vest.
Yes,
In this
exactly.
weather, it's a bit cold.
It's got Wimpy written on the back.
No,
This is the most expensive coat of them all, they tell me.
It's called a reefer jacket, actually,
right.
Nick.
Really?
Yes.
Which, in the pocket? Is there one in the pocket? No, there isn't.
Oh!
Is it warm, Sylvester?
Well, it's freezing.
Well, you meant to have it
Can I
zipped
come
up
in now,
perhaps,
please?
Oh,
you
it's have it
see.
buttoned up.
But I mean, I think if you remember that, that's a bit of a step up for Sylvester, because certainly I remember when he was Doctor Who, he was like, you know, all sorts of layers of misshapen
Yes,
garments.
but
Yeah.
the long woolly scarf was always quite good, wasn't it?
No, that wasn't him,
That
that was
wasn't
Tom
Sylvester.
Baker. You're getting them mixed
Beg
up,
your
you see,
pardon,
Anne.
Larry, I know you're
You'll
a Doctor
have
Who
Doctor Who
expert.
people on the phone.
You are actually a wizzo on Doctor Who, aren't
I
you?
do
You're
know
really
all
into
about it. I do, I do.
You're just going for our competition later. Who else have we got to come?
Now, we have Deborah Whatling,
Yes.
another ex-Doctor Who person. She's wearing the kind of female version of what
Sylvester
was wearing.
Yeah.
And it's in red, it's Marks and Spencer's, it's
That's
£80.
very, very nice, isn't it?
And it's a really good price. There are lots of them around this winter, but I do think the Marks and Spencer's one is the best one, definitely. And also they do all the sorts of fittings, the petite fittings, big fitting, larger sizes, so it'll suit everybody.
She's perished, the girl. Can we let her go?
Can I not play now? Can I go?
But she's really keen.
Yes, you're allowed to go now.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you to all our models, absolutely
Yeah.
super.
Is there any more models? Is
Well,
that
there
it?
is. I thought we were having Fraser Hines.
Oh, there's
No,
room,
there he is. There is no.
there's room for so many people
The
in that
state of
Cyberman.
that.
I must say, the wind must be whistling up that kilt rather, don't you think?
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
yes, quick before anything else drops off.
He's perfect for the Arsenal midfield.
You leave my Arsenal out of it.
We did actually choose that coat because we thought it was sort of a country look. It's actually £55.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we thought, you know, do great sort of down at the wool pack of an evening with a pint. You know.
Certainly.
Fraser,
Lovely.
thank
Fraser, thank you, and thank you to the Cyberman
Off
and
you
the
go,
Thanks
Dalek.
to Lowry, and as promised, details of this Doctor Who competition we mentioned. You could win the complete works of the Time Lord.
Yeah, it's quite
Yes.
something. If you can answer this simple
You're
question,
not allowed to enter.
this is very simple but difficult. Who created the dialects? Who created the dialects? Please send your answers on a postcard or sealed envelope to this address, Doctor Who Competition. Good morning, PO Box 9000, Birmingham B57AN.
Don't know whether you can see the prize. It's pretty stunning.
But it's in a police box.
Ooh, yeah, wonderful. Is that the usual kit, is it, for Arsenal Supporters Club?
No, I wasn't going to wear it, but when I saw Anne looking so lovely, like a young Jamie, I got it out of my suitcase and put it straight on.
It's me Kilt. It's me Kilt he's talking
Yes, the
about.
kilt.
Anyway.
Yes, well, thank you very much. I haven't got a sporran like yours, though.
You can have my sporran any time you like.
Gosh, there's an offer.
Let's first of all
Thank you.
just put the spotlight on Jeremy, because he makes sort of programmes that people pretend they don't watch.
Funny that, isn't it? Fraser makes the other one. Thank you for laughing when you just gave me that joke. But the figures, of course, speak for themselves. Almost everybody does. And if it doesn't camcorder chaos... does that
If
make
it
sense?
isn't camcorder chaos.
Or something
that's what
like
we're trying
that. It's some poor soul on the end of an almighty wind-up. Watch this. I think I'm being wound.
There, like that. Fingers on top. That's it. Keep it down on your knee just for now. Then when we get to the end, which is yum diddly da dum, I just want you to keep it up by your face, big smile, and just point to it like that. So yeah. Okay. That's all I want you to do. Off we go. Okay.
When I try to eat without my teeth, it is a job. But when I smear on dental cream, they say inside my gob. And when I do anything they say about the place. So when I use my dental cream, they say inside my face. Dental cream, a dental cream, a dental cream, dental cream.
Oh. Oh, he's disappointed.
He was so nice, I can't tell you. The great thing about all the shows I do is you get to meet the nicest people in the world. And of course what happens is after they sort of see you and they think, what's going on? And then they, and then they realise, and it floods in, and they're just so lovely. And he was especially nice, I must say.
So that's from your London Weekend television series Beadle's About, we ought to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people who sort of set up things for you, like the guy we saw there, you must have a lot of them, and they must be very skilled, I would have thought.
It's very nice that you should ask me that, Nick, and I tell you why, because people always want to know where I come from on the show, and the real thing is that the actors are staggeringly good. Now, all our researchers become producers. Each one produces the item themselves, and they take full responsibility for it. And our producer, Robert Randall, he crafts it. But our actors are in the front line. And it's now Glyn, who you saw there, Glyn Mills, he's a brilliant actor. And he's also a football referee.
Now, he uses
accent.
He awarded Luke those 6 goals.
But what he can do is that he's used to having very angry players come up. And there's a very, very funny story, actually, where Glyn sent somebody off. And he sent me a copy of the official FA report of the incident. And it said, I warned player so-and-so a couple of times. Upon which he came up to me, eyeballed me, and said, who the do you think you are, Jeremy Beadle? But he is absolutely, he's really very clever. And those actors knocked to corpse.
Well, it's the fact they keep this wonderful straight face, but you must have trouble doing that too.
I am the worst. We have a very simple rule on Beadle's About, that if you laugh corpse on camera, then you have to buy a round. Every year I throw a big party at home for everybody because it's cheaper. And the actors know that I'm useless. And I walk in and they just look at me and I go. I'm seriously useless at it, and they are so good, and they know they can make me laugh anytime.
Now, you know that joke you gave me there at the beginning when you say that people do pretend that they don't watch Beadle's About. Sure. Funny enough, yes, it's got the highest viewing figures, possibly.
About a third of the nation watches it.
Oh, that's all, yes. It's
and Frasier, I mean, people say they don't watch soaps either. They say they watch documentaries, don't they, in all these
They don't watch this, we never watch Emmerdale. And how's that Amos bloke? Is he all right? Has he got over his illness? He said, well, that was last week. Well, yeah, well, I just sort of dipped in now and again, you know, but they know all the stories, and you're divorced
Why
and now.
are people snobbish about what programmes they say they watch?
I think that there's a very interesting thing, that the definition of quality television, it supposedly is about content. Quality television apparently can only be documentaries or social dramas or news items, whereas my definition of quality television is very simple. Quality television is when all your thinking has been done for you. It doesn't matter what the content is, what type of show it is. It's when the producer has done all your thinking for you, and therefore you sit back and you watch without question. Now, for instance, this happens to be a very good quality television programme, because the producer thinks it all through for you. So you come on and you're relaxed, and it's all done, and people at home don't ask questions.
Can that be true of, I mean, something very serious and like a documentary?
A documentary.
If it's presented well, I suppose there again the producer has done.
They're much more simple to do. I mean, I've produced them. They're very easy because you are just putting across information. You try and do it visually and excitingly, but to get information across is a very simple process. To entertain and do family entertainment, like the soaps where everybody watches and understands, is a real art form, and that's quality television when the producers have done all your thinking for you.
Can we just explain, in case anyone's tuned in now and wondered what on earth that man is sitting in a kilt next to you for? Can you explain why you're wearing it, Fraser?
I don't know, it's the 30th anniversary of Doctor Who, and I was in it in 1967, 68, 69. The longest running companion in
So you're not going to
Who.
be mucking out on Emmerdale on that tonight?
No, I don't think so.
And you were wee Jamie in your kilt.
I was Jamie, and I wasn't going to wear it. Then I saw on the monitor that Anne was wearing the shirt, and I thought, well, I'll...
What, you just brought that with you, had you? Just like that?
Here's one I made earlier. Yeah. So,
did you ever have any sort of troublesome moments wearing a kilt?
I did, actually. We had a helicopter scene, and this helicopter comes swooping in. It said, right, Jamie runs up this rope ladder, then the girl, and then the doctor. And I said, wait, I thought, helicopter, downdraft, kilt blowing up, they'll know what I'm wearing. So I said, Jamie's a gentleman, he'd send the girl first. Good idea. So the helicopter came in, she got up the rope ladder, her skirt went around her neck, and they cut, right, break for lunch. Fraser, then we'll do your scene. You got the... Oh, I was sweating buckets. But my dresser was a fisherman. He was fishing at lunchtime, and I'd read that the Queen has little lead weights sewn into the hem of her dresses to stop any royal thigh being shown in a windy day. So I said, look, get me those lead weights.
What are you laughing at, Jeremy?
No, what's coming?
Fishing. Sew all the lead weights in. So they sewed all my lead during his lunchtime. They said, right, cue the helicopter, Fraser, this is where we find out. And I sort of... clanked onto the runway like it was clanking, and they all thought this is where Jamie gives away the secret. Frasier's going to tell him. The rope ladder came down, I stepped on started to climb up, my kilt hung down like a safety curtain. I was looking down, the cameraman was like that, he looked away from the camera, couldn't believe his eyes, looking back, banged the camera and thought, and everybody did it. So we never knew. Never knew.
So this is the secret. It's quite a good secret to pass on that one. Little lead weights and
lead
bottom
weights,
kilt.
you know, so you don't see anything.
Well, there you are. You get all the fashion news on this programme.
Yeah. Well, it's been good to see. We haven't had a chance to talk to you much, but of course you were grossly late, weren't you?
Well, I was stuck on the M1. I was stuck in this fog, and somebody actually fired a bow and arrow at the car I was in. It was a patchy fog.
Dear, dear.
I had to think of some line while I was late.
Yeah, well, it's well worth waiting for, probably.
I came back from Toronto yesterday doing a Doctor Who convention, drove past Birmingham, it's a Birmingham 32. I rang my wife and said, listen, if I'm doing the Anne and Nick show, I'll go to Birmingham. She said, no, I want you to come home, it's our wedding anniversary. I said, well, so I thought she'd planned a little sort of special thing, so I got home and she was in the office typing, and I was looking around for this special little meal, and it was just an ordinary meal. I mean, I could have been in a nice hotel last night.
Oh, come on. How could it have just been an ordinary meal?
Listen, forget your wedding anniversary. It was your wife's wedding anniversary, and you did the right thing.
Was it hers as well?
Yeah.
No,
And later we might find out where you got scratches all over your legs.
Yes, I have. Look.
It was his Jack Russell.
It was my Jack Russell.
Anyway, thank you both very much for the time being.
Atmosphere coming from our audience again this evening, the usual sort of low-hanging cloud of cheap aftershave beer fumes and unwashed socks, but tinged with sadness tonight because this is the last pop quiz of the current series. I knew you'd do that. So for one more time, with not a dry eye or a dry glass for that matter in the place, let's introduce two teams, 6 brilliant minds eager to demonstrate their breathtaking knowledge of the last 3 decades of popular music for no price.